Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and thanks for tuning in to another siege battle in Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD. It's been a while since I've had a siege battle up on the channel, and I know that it's what a lot of you guys do enjoy. I've just been very busy with my tournament and my Let's Plays and the channel, the new content that I'm filtering out on the channel from time to time. But I'm bringing you this siege battle, and as requested by many people, a surprising number of people, I am playing as the Duchy of Lesser Poland, and I am attacking in this battle. So maybe it's a lot of people from Poland that are watching my content. If so, thank you. And I'm going to represent you guys by playing Poland today. So without further ado, let's take a look at the army comps, and then we'll get the battle started. The first attacking army on the battlefield today is the Duchy of Lesser Poland, commanded by myself, and I brought a good representation of cavalry and infantry to the battle. Even though it is a siege battle, I'm still bringing a decent amount of cavalry. So let's go ahead and look at the cavalry first, starting with the Polish King, which is right there. So there's the Polish King, Tier 3 Heavy Shock Cavalry. And then I have 2 units of the Polish Knights here. And then I have 1 unit of Great Banner of Krakow. You cannot play as Poland without bringing the Great Banner. And there it is right there. So hopefully the Great Banner of Krakow will be able to get some kills. And for my mainline infantry, I've gone with 8 units of the High Period Sergeants. I've gone for the High Period over the Late Period because for an extra 200 gold, they really only give me about 5 extra melee defense and I think 4 extra armor. So I went with the High Period Sergeants instead. For my Archer force, I've got 4 units of the Archer Sergeants of Lesser Poland with Silver Chevron upgrades. And then I have 4 units of Pavi Spearmen. So they're going to help and hold the line and secure streets while I utilize my archers to try to wear down the defense, basically. But you can see that they are in a nice shield wall there. Or actually, they're in stationary testudo at the moment. But that's it for Poland, so let's go ahead and look at my ally. The second attacking army in today's battle is the Duchy of Bavaria, and this one is commanded by Hohenmaster. And he's got a really solid army as well, but he's got some really good crossbows to kind of make up for my Tier 1 archers. He's got 4 units of the Pavi Zambrecice, Tier 3, really solid. Like I said before, they've got 80 missile blocks, so huge for a crossbow unit. And then for his mainline infantry, he has 5 units of the Late Period Assaultner. And then he has 3 units of the High Period Assaultner. He has a catapult because one of the attackers was allowed to bring a catapult. And he has 2 units of Bavarian Ritter over here. These guys look pretty flashy. I really like the way that they look. Very Holy Roman Empire-esque, but I like the blue and white checkered pattern. And look at those flags, too. It kind of looks like a Holy Roman Empire mixed with the Bavarian flag. So it's like, yeah, we're representing Bavaria, but we're also a duchy of the Holy Roman Empire. And you can see a couple of them having the horns, just like the Imperial Ritter do of the Holy Roman Empire. And for his halberdiers, or his polearms, he's got 4 units of the Landwehr, or Landwehr. Look kind of like Billmen. They're more, I guess, like halberdier / bill unit. So he has 4 of them. And then we've got the Duke's Hairchild, General's Bodyguard, moving forwards here. And there he is there. I'll zoom in so that he passes you guys with the mace there and the blue plume. Very nice looking. So that's it for the Duchy of Bavaria. So let's go ahead and take a look at the defenders. The first defending army in today's battle is the Duchy of Burgundy. And this is commanded by the Hunted. And he's got a really good army for defending. A good mix of pikes, spears, and swords. He has 4 units of these High Period Valets scattered in and amongst the city, mostly holding strategic choke points. And he's also backed them up with 4 units of Flemish pikemen. And for his infantry, he's got 4 units of the Ecotier footmen. So some mercenaries for the main-bodied infantry. And he has 4 units of Savoyard crossbowmen, which is a really solid crossbow unit. It actually is a little bit better than Hohen's crossbows, the Pavisambaratsutse, but just barely. I think they have 4 more armor, and that's pretty much it. And we've got the Duke Charles the Bold here, which would be... Where are you, Charles? There you are. There's Charles the Bold as the general. And I believe... Oh, no, that's not it. He has 2 units of mounted free company for his cavalry as well. So, pretty heavy on the mercenaries for the infantry and cavalry, but then the spears, pikes, and archers come right from Burgundy herself. So that is it for the Duchy of Burgundy, so let's go ahead and look at the final defender. The final defending army in today's battle is the Cuman Khanate, and this is being commanded by, you guessed it, Hamdog CDXX. But he's got a good mix here, starting with these Kagan's Guardsmen. He has 4 units of the spears. Pretty solid in melee, and they can hold their own. They do have spear wall as well. And then for his mainline infantry, it's a mix of axemen, which have the Pila that does have the potential to get a ton of kills. So he has 4 units of them. And then he has 2 units of heavy macemen being held in reserve. And then way over here, I believe down in the center, he's got 2 units of these Kipchak swordsmen. Oh, that's another axe unit. Where is the Kipchak swordsman? They're over here. So he has 2 units of them. And for his archers, he has 4 units of the Bay archers, which are very solid for a tier 1 archer unit. And he has 1 unit of Cuman bandits that are holding the town center. And these guys do look pretty cool, I do have to say. Tier 2, but they've got pretty poor morale. Cuman bandits reminding me of Kingdom Come Deliverance. For his cavalry, he has 2 units of these heavy Cossacks. And then he has a master horse archer for his general, which would be that guy right there. So that is it for the army comp, so without further ado, let's get the battle started. Alright guys, welcome to the battle, and as you can see, we've moved up pretty much right to the edge of the town. Hohen and his catapult have taken down most of the exterior towers, so we're able to push right up to the main street before entering the town. So if I zoom out here and just turn on the HUD for a second, put this on slow motion, so you can see where Hohenmaster has his forces set up. His catapult is almost out of ammo. It's just finishing off firing at some of these Flemish pikemen over here. He did a number on these Equalture footmen over here, getting 4 direct hits and killing about 50 men. And my units are all up here in the front as well. And most of these units are visible. We can see the ones on this front street here, and we can see the ones on this flank. We don't have access to seeing anyone in the center of the city, but I do see all of the cavalry over on this right-hand flank. But I do not see this unit of free company footmen over here. Over on Hohen's side, he's got his 2 units of Bavarian Ritter over hiding in the trees, and we do have eyes on this unit of mounted free company outside the city walls as well. But I'm just setting up my forces here, and the bombardment phase is just about finished, and it's a very short town assault, actually, only about 35 minutes. The reason for that being is because we're kind of taking our usual time bombarding, getting all the towers down, making sure it's safe to advance, and then we realized that I left a timer on this battle, so we actually only have about 34 minutes to capture the town center before the defenders win. So with that in mind, we definitely will be pushing into the city very soon. But a lot of people requesting that I play Poland, so I am delivering here, but they are a pretty awesome faction. They're just a little bit underpowered for sieges, I find. But I am moving forwards 2 units of my Pavi spearmen over here, and I will be bringing up some sergeants as well, because what I want to do is actually block this road over here so that this cavalry can't flank around me. But I do not, as I said, see that unit of mounted free company. So let's go ahead and jump in here as my soldiers are moving through the city. I thought I was going to be really sneaky and push these units up through the trees so that they were not noticeable. And there you go. If you guys can see that, just coming around the corner is that unit of Mounted Free Company. And this has caught me completely unaware. I don't even react until the last second, and by then it is too late. Look at that, just coming over the edge in a complete surprise. My units are having a bit of trouble. I did manage to get this unit into square, but the Mounted Free Company are just going to continue on and get a really decent charge into the backs of my sergeants. I didn't have time to form them into a appropriate shield wall, but luckily these spears are in the square formation and they are catching a few of the Mounted Free Company. And there we go, the Polish Knights coming over here and running down the last of that Free Company unit. But well done by the Hunted there. That was a really good charge. If we take a look at the kills here, it looks like 2 Mounted Free Company men will make it back to France with no money in their pockets. But look at those kills, 55 kills on my units here. So losing 14 men in this spear unit, another 11 in this spear, and then I lost about 28 in that sergeant unit, and 2 in that unit. So all 4 of these units affected by that 1 unit of Mounted Free Company. So well done there. I am engaging this unit of Eco-Chair Footmen with my High Period Sergeants, and we do have some Bavarian Ritter that has moved in over here, but look at the Pila being thrown as they try to retreat from those Axemen over there. Hohenmaster charging his Bavarian Ritter into the Kagens Guardsmen because they weren't in any form of spear wall, but then the Axemen actually getting revenge there, so it's a bit cat and mouse right now. And look at the kills on that. Half of that unit of Bavarian Ritter is gone. That is a tier 3 shock cavalry unit. I'm not sure if he's going to try again. No, it looks like he's going to turn around and get out of there, but now he's down to 39 men over there. Little bit of a problem. But the man count was 5,300 to 5,400, so they actually had 100 more men than us to start. But now we have a 200-man advantage, or about a 150-man advantage. So I'm moving a few more sergeants over to this flank here because I want to be able to flank around and start the attack over on this side. And now it's my turn to get a little creative with my Polish Knights over here. So we're going to go ahead and jump into them as soon as they move through my unit. But Hamdog's cavalry up on that slope is not going to react in time for this. And look at this here. Let's try and get right to the front of the unit if possible. There we go. And the spears are there, but I'm not going for the spears. And we've got the mounted eco-churs there, but I'm not going for them. I'm going for the unit of Kipchak swordsmen that is not in any form of formation here, getting hit super hard from the side by that unit of Polish Knights. And Hamdog CDXX is going to have to react very quickly to save them. It looks like I am being peppered down by the Savoyard crossbowman from the Hunted, who is trying to get rid of my cavalry quickly enough. And he has done some damage, but before they die, I'm going to bring them and hit right into the backs of the Eco-Chair footmen here and break them. And then what I'm going to do, since I've knocked most of the unit down, is this is a safe way to pull your cavalry through. If you can get a rear charge and knock most of the unit down, right away pull your cavalry through, because look at this. My cavalry still exists with 49 men. And I just walloped that Kipchak swordsman unit, killing about 70 men in that charge. And here we go. Now I've got my sergeants moving in against the Kipchak swordsman here. And I've got another unit of sergeants in shield wall moving forwards towards the Eco-Chair footman and valet combo that the Hunted has there. But getting peppered down by those crossbows, it's a little bit of a problem there. Oh, yeah, you can see the blood from the High Period sergeants as the bolts come down on top of them. I'll see if I can get a shot of the crossbow bolts raining down on the Polish position here. And it's not much bother if the Hunter gets any friendly fire because the Kipchak swordsmen that I'm fighting in melee aren't really particularly valuable. They're pretty cheap. I think he does have a unit of Kagan's guardsmen in there as well, but yeah, it doesn't look like we've got any volleys coming down this way this instant. Over here, too, doesn't look like much is happening. But I do have my spears over here that have formed up into a spear wall. And this is where it looks like... oh, no, he is firing at them. Okay. Yeah, so the Hunted is focusing the sergeants, but I think he will eventually focus my spear wall, which I'm not really worried about because they now have 130 for their missile block. And that is not bad for high-period spears. But it's pretty quiet over on Hohen's side. He's just getting all of his Assaultner into the city right now, and he's trying to get his Pavitsampanetsitse into a good position. But it looks like over here we are going to have some movement, so let's go ahead and watch them. Actually, let's watch this from the view of the Kagan's guardsmen here. We do have a lot of the axemen up on this hill too, which can cause a decent amount of damage. But these ones are only high-period Assaultner, and there we go, getting a few volleys of the one-handed axes before, oh my goodness, trying to crest the hill to get to the Kagan's guardsmen, but that Pila volley knocking the unit back. The other two units moving much more slowly in shield wall, but you can see numbers dropping in the front lines, also over here as well. A couple hitting actually the backs of the Kagan's guardsmen. But yeah, as Hohen had told me, because I was wondering why he was moving in against this position with all these units of axemen, and we've got the Bay Archers over here, the tower. But these are only high-period Assaultners, so they're kind of throwaway units. And it looks like the Kagan's Guardsman was actually about to break there, but looks like they kind of just pulled through this unit for some reason. Not sure why they did that, but let me just check to make sure nothing else is going on. Yeah, I'm having some big difficulties over here. My unit's really under a lot of fire from the Savoyard crossbowmen. You can see we've got two units over here. That one is not in range, but we've got this unit that's defended here, the Bay Archers, also firing on my position. And we've got some firing over here onto this Pavi Spearman. But again, this is tying up all of this cavalry, and Hamdog actually doesn't realize that his general is on auto-fire. So he's the one actually wasting most of his ammo on this 130 missile block shield wall. But it's things like that you don't really think about. It's hard to be on top of everything. But I've got my Pavi Spearmen over here. These guys just look awesome. I love the brilliant color scheme of these guys. So nice. And my sergeants basically just keep coming back from routing, and then I just send them right back into melee. He is actually, Hamdog, he actually is going to get a flank on my sergeants over here and break them. I wasn't able to slow them down in time. So this unit of Kipchak swordsmen getting a little bit of revenge before charging into this spear wall. But this spear wall will hold. Hold at least for a little bit. Yeah, over here, it's tough times for Bavaria. Taking a lot of casualties on this slope here. A lot of bodies littering the ground. Most notably, the nobles or the cavalry, which were slaughtered there early on in the battle. But yeah, this tower we weren't able to get rid of because we only brought one catapult for our entire team. So we did get rid of two, but the third one we couldn't get rid of. And the Free Company footmen, the Mounted Free Company, the Mounted Free Company, not Free Company footmen, doing really well against the Bavarian Ritter over here. Granted, one of the units was at half strength, and they are a little shaken from the casualties they've taken. But the other unit is holding firm. However, the Bavarian Ritter are much more expensive than the Mounted Free Company. So I'd say that this battle is going quite well for the Duchy of Burgundy. But I don't want to sit too long in any one place because, as I said, this siege isn't very long at all. Here we go, the assault during the high period, just about to break the axemen here, but oh no, we've got another unit of axemen here. Let's go ahead and put this into slow motion. They do have one Pila volley left. I'm not sure if they're going to use it or not. I think they're just charging right into melee. But that is going to see off the Bavarian infantry over on this flank. Oh, nice. This guy over here getting a nice shield bash before coming in. The Bavarians look like they were able to recover, though. And now I've got a couple of units of my archers in, and all I'm going to be focusing with my archer sergeants are these Flemish pikemen. I have no chance going up against the Savoyard crossbowmen. They have 80 missile block, and they have way more damage than my best archers, these archer sergeants of Lesser Poland. So, like I said, all I'm going to be using them for is going after key targets that have poor missile block, like the Flemish pikemen. And I think I will focus the cavalry I was focusing as well. And I think that's pretty much about it. But here we go. I'm going to bring forward some Polish knights over here again. This is the unit that slammed into those Kipchak swordsmen. They are still on the battlefield. And I noticed that there wasn't really any sort of defense over here. So this is very open, these three units. And the Savoyard crossbowmen also extending past the safety of their spears. And yeah, the hunted does realize this. He is going to try and kill my cavalry before they can get in, but the Polish cavalry too late and too quick. Hamdog trying to respond by turning his unit around, but the heavy cavalry just being too much of a driving force. Like, it's like trying to stop a tank. You know, there's no way that you're going to stop a heavily armored knight in its tracks. And they did try to turn the spears around, but my sergeants were right behind. And look at that. 3 units broken by this Polish knight unit. Now, I do want to try and get them out of there, but they are wavering. They're taking, again, a lot of casualties due to the Bay archers and the crossbows up there. And there we go. They have broken. But if I'm not mistaken, I think they will return, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but look at this. Finally, the Mounted Free Company are breaking over here, but the Bavarian Ritter are exhausted from attacking this one unit. And it did break that other unit, because I don't see it anywhere. The other unit of cavalry, so well done to the Free Company there, holding their own. And yes, there we go. The Polish Knights back with 31 men. They are still alive. They rallied just in time for me to get them away from the Bay Archers there. But yeah, focusing down these pikes, they've already lost 12 men over here. And now we've got some movement over here. The Equalture footmen with the Flemish pikemen moving in to go after my Pavy spearmen. And I will respond by moving over some of my archers to help them. And I've also got these 2 units very close by to offer some support. Yep, here we go. Bringing forwards my archers to get rid of those pikes. Because the pikemen will definitely have the edge against my spears. There you go. You can see them forcing their way through the lines of the Equalture footmen to get in line with my spears. And my spear is actually being thrown back a little bit there. Alright, let's see what else is going on here. Yep, so I've completely committed my flank over here. I mostly, again, throw in my high period sergeants in, and then they'll break, and then I throw them back in. But I've got my Pavy spearmen blocking off this area, and then I'm moving these spears over here to block off this area, just to pen the defenders in to the best of my abilities. But Hamdog realizes that this flank is probably not going to be held for much longer, so he is wisely retreating what's left of his axemen, his archers, and his spears behind the lines of Equalture footmen and the valets. A lot of these Bay archers, though, almost out of ammo, which is concerning. However, the hunted has almost all of his ammo left. And look at this, as I'm trying to get this unit of Pavy Spearmen over here, they've taken so many losses that they're actually shaken already. They're only active. I just wanted to get them into position quickly enough. And it looks like the fire has relented. I think the hunted was expecting me to charge right in there, but all I wanted was to get here and then go into my my testudo. But yes, look at this. So what I've done over here... Where are my archers? Oh yeah, they're over here is... the pikemen are kind of up more on this hill, so I'm able to fire at them a little bit easier than if it was flat terrain. But unfortunately, my Pavy Spearmen, they've sustained some casualties at the hands of these pikemen, so I don't know how much longer they will be able to hold against these two units, which is why I have my 2 units of sergeants very close at hand. And what I'm going to do with this unit of archers is actually park them almost right in behind here, like right about here, and then have them fire right into the backs of the pikemen and the Ecoture footmen. However, after these units are gone, I really don't have much else to hold back the heavy Cossacks and the Master Horse Archer that are over on this flank. And yeah, look at this over here. We've got the heavy Cossacks over here, which is a bit of a problem. I'm forming my sergeants into a shield wall, but they are spread out way too much. Way too much.
The men have given up and are running for their lives.
The pikemen pushing forwards over here. Here comes the heavy Cossacks through their unit. Not getting too good of a charge because they do have to push through their unit, but regardless, they are getting through, which is a bit of a problem. And that was a good pull through. He's only lost about 10 men, and he's right into my archer sergeants over here. Luckily, I did see this unit coming in, and we've got the Great Banner of Krakow that is going to kind of lock down this flank over here. And looks like the heavy Cossacks are going to be caught. Oh, we've got a little bit of ripping of the terrain there. But there we go, the heavy Cossacks moving into melee. And they should be breaking. Yeah, so there we go. So my archer sergeants did survive that. They took some casualties, but not enough to get rid of them completely. And look at this unit of pikemen down to 80 men. So we're doing well there. However, in the center, I'm kind of struggling, I would say. And if you see a lot of Hohen's men kind of just all moving in at the same time, I believe this is the time when Hohen actually disconnected from the battle. But it ends up actually being a very good battle. So I am going to still refer to this as Hohen, but just so you guys wonder, like, hey, why is he charging 5 units into that choke point? It's basically just because he's no longer here. But at this point, I think it's kind of good that Hohen disconnected because we need this all-out charge. We only have 15 minutes left to take this city, and we barely conquered the first layer. We still have this second layer to deal with, and it is very well defended. If we look at this unit of Flemish pikemen, though, they're down to 95, so I am weakening them there. And over here again, I'm really just not even bothering. And the Great Banner of Krakow helping me to run down the Flemish pikemen that have broken, and the Ecoture footmen over here also getting broken by my archer sergeants. They've got 138 kills now, which is really nice. And here we go. Now that this flank is open, I'm going to get all of my units up here. But the Hunted is quickly bringing some Ecoture footmen over here to block this gap. And I wish that I had my Great Banner of Krakow up here already, but I was pulling him back until I realized that I may need cavalry support due to the heavy Cossacks over here. So that's why I did bring the Great Banner back, and I was going to bring my cavalry over here to charge these Ecoture footmen, but they got bogged down in my units of sergeants that were charging forwards, and they formed shield wall before I could even get there. So I basically just stopped that attack and started to move them around this way. And the heavy Cossacks actually did pull back, and I did not see the spear unit until I was about where I am, and then I was like, oh, well, forget it. I can't really go down that way anyways. So I turned the Banner of Krakow and bring them back. And looking over here, here we go. We've got some of the Landwehr, or the Landwehr. They are... What are they doing over here? It kind of looks like they're having a little dance party or something. I'm not sure what's going on. But I don't think they know which way they want to attack. And I've got my Polish Knights over here. Not sure what they're doing either. I think there was a unit that was trying to flank around them, maybe? I remember that I was using them for something. But here we go. We've got a unit of Bavarian Ritter over here coming around to support the crossbowmen that are moving up this side to start to pepper down this defense. And here we go. This is a major, major problem. I've got a wavering spear unit here that's trying to form testudo, and yeah, boom, goodbye, goodbye, Polish spears. And heavy Cossacks right into my 2 units of archers. And at this point, the Great Banner of Krakow is moving forwards. Let's go ahead and put this on slow motion for just a bit. I want to watch the cavalry fighting. There is the Great Banner, actually, right at the front. Fight on, men, fight on. Kill the infidel cavalry. These heavy Cossacks think that they could best the might of the Polish cavalry. Yeah, and there I am trying to run my archer sergeants out of there. I think that one unit is wavering and does actually break, but I do save both of these units of archers. So the Great Banner of Krakow moving in to save some very valuable units. Yeah, there it goes. That unit does break, but it returns quickly. But this heavy Cossack unit with 80 men is going to have to take on the Great Banner of Krakow. I am a tier 2 shock cav, so I should be able to best them. But over here, we've just got a fight in the streets. The Archer footmen dealing with my high period sergeants once again. Nice. I'm seeing a lot of the Eco-Chur footmen falling to their knees. But as soon as the Savoyard crossbows get focused in on my men, it's pretty much GG. So how are we looking over here? So actually, yeah, so this punch of the Landwehr is actually breaking the unit of valets over here, and the Eco-Chur footmen are hanging on for dear life. But we've got the Duke's Hairtile, the General's Bodyguard, right in this slog as well. So that is something that Hohen would definitely not do. But over here as well, like, the tactic is kind of working. The unit of valets over here just kind of being overwhelmed by the shock charge of the Landwehr. We've got a unit of Savoyard crossbows going in to hold the line, and they've still got ammo left, so that's really kind of a sad thing to see. But over here, we've got the Bavarian Ritter that have charged into these 2 units here, headlong. They've got 130 kills under their belt, but that is not from this area, I don't think. And they're under fire from the tower, and I think there's some crossbows here that are just causing some issues. So we've got some Kipchak swordsmen moving around, and some more axemen. And we've even got the General's Bodyguard and the Heavy Macemen have been activated over to this flank. So I'm not sure if he has both of them. Where's that second unit? Oh, it's still waiting over here in reserve. And we've got Charles the Bold, Duke of Burgundy, who is going to be moving over to this flank. I think he sees a juicy opportunity with these 2 units of crossbows that are undefended. And my general is still waiting for his call into the battle. He feels that it's not necessary just yet to come into the battle, so he's kind of just waiting outside here. That's a nice screenshot. Very nice. But we can go ahead and put this on play. 11 minutes left in this battle, and I'm hightailing some Pavi Spearmen and the Sergeants of the High Period over to this flank to try and defend these poor archers that are inevitably going to be charged by Charles the Bold. Here he comes right down the slopes, and the crossbows are trying to run away, but there is no chance to outrun cavalry. Yeah, big charge into the back there. However, these crossbows are pretty solid in melee, and here come my sergeants right around the corner to pen in the general's bodyguard, and we've got the other unit of crossbows that are returning, so I'm not sure if they are going to fire onto the general's bodyguard or not, but I believe... Let's see if I can find Charles here. There he is with... Wait, which one is that him? Oh no, more than one has a gold helmet. And it looks like the Hunted is going to try and pull his general back. But this unit of crossbows is going to stop him, I believe. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to ride all the way through that. Yeah, Charles the Bold being locked in here. And I'm not sure... Yeah, he's just going to turn around and try and... Oh, no. Wait, which way is he going to... Oh, yeah, he's coming this way over here to charge into the backs of the Landwehr. Which will probably be a pretty solid charge, to be honest. Nice. Taking a couple screenshots there. That's why it was a little jumpy. But yeah, that was a huge hit by Charles the Bold. So we really need to kind of contain this cavalry, and we need to get it under control, because look at that, the Landwehr over here, the high period Landwehr actually wavering, and my spear's wavering as well. But yeah, focusing down Charles the Bold, he is wavering as well, and there we go. The general's bodyguard is dead. However, you'd think that Hohen's general's bodyguard would be dying, but nope, they've still got 43 out of 50 men, and they're muscling through. Muscling right through. Over here, though, most of my leftover infantry is holding this flank desperately, and it's only a matter of time before this kind of breaks. The Great Banner of Krakow, unfortunately, not going to get as many kills because I've had to sacrifice them by holding them in melee like this. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you guys that feel you need to get your cavalry out because now they're engaged against spears, I'm telling you, the cavalry will last longer in melee if you leave them there. If I had pulled this unit out when I saw the spears coming, the Great Banner would have been broken long ago. But they will hold in melee for a time, especially being supported by the high period sergeants here. So that is why I left them in. Well, let's look at the man count. The balance of power is with us. We've got 2,200 men, but the enemies, the defenders, have 2,100, so only a 100-man advantage. And the only thing that is really good for us is that all of the Burgundy units will be suffering a morale penalty due to the fact that they do not have their general anymore. But, yes, my general is in here. I'm popping some rallies over here to try to keep the Landwehr from breaking. But I don't want him too close to be fired upon by the crossbows that are up the hill there. And here we go. Let's go ahead and put this on slow motion for a second. Cheeky old ham dog over here pulling his Kipchak swordsman and his axeman over into this V sign, or this V formation. And what he wants to do is to be able to have me to go into the unit of Kipchak swordsmen and then the axemen to throw their pila. But I actually pull my units back. You can see I'm pulling them back, and I just form them up into a shield wall and a testudo. I am not going to go into that death trap. There is no way. I'd rather just hold here and let Hohen's units move forwards and get pila to death. But again, looks like the Bay Archers over here are holding really solidly in melee, helping out the Ecocher footmen, who are shaken. But over here, yeah, there we go. The Great Banner of Krakow is breaking. I've got some units of sergeants over here breaking as well. And I've got one unit of high period sergeants that's holding back the macemen and 2 units of spears. So this is a very brave unit, that is for sure. But over on this side, not much is happening. We're not really committing to this flank. I've got my spears here to guard the Pavi's crossbows so that no more cavalry comes down this way. But I just don't want to lose any more men to that arrow tower. 7 minutes left in the battle. And here we go. I'm not sure, but I think that the axemen are going to move into melee now. Because, yeah, look at that. I'm focusing them down with my archers, getting some good volleys into them because I know what a deadly unit they can be at close range. Yeah, so I think Hamdog realizes that. Now he's just going to move them into melee. There is the Pila throw, but most of my spear is able to absorb the blast. And here comes the Kipchak swordsman in as well. But these Landwehr, they just did not want to go out and help me. They're just kind of sitting here doing their little dance again. And a look at these crossbowmen with like 3/4 ammo here. Oh, that is disgusting. Hamdog has to be careful with his general, though. He's the only living general for the defenders, and he's already lost almost half his unit. But he does have a unit of heavy Cossacks that he did manage to pull out of melee without too many losses. And I've got my general's bodyguard over here to pop any rallies that I may need to. But as I said, I'm just holding here as long as I can, tying up a lot of units over on this flank. 5 units being tied up by 3 so that we can muscle through in the center. And Hohen's general still alive, the Duke's Hairchild. His men are rallying around him, and looks like we're finally going to be pushing through this center defense. And over here as well, I'm pushing forwards my archer sergeants to overwhelm the Kipchak swordsmen. And I've got a unit of cavalry over here that I noticed this unit of Eco-Chura footmen was not in shield wall, so I don't know if that was a mistake or not, but with the Polish Knights, a huge hit there breaking this unit. And I think Hamdog does have his heavy Cossacks over here that he is going to try and bring over to lock down this flank. I was trying to break the unit of valets here, but as soon as I saw those heavy Cossacks coming, I was like, nope, not going to stay here for long. And my Polish Knights, really quick as lightning, they just kind of come around the corner, and I'm going right for these crossbows over here. And there's just no time to react and turn around, and a nice big hit there. Now we've actually got the heavy macemen from the town center moving in to close the jaws here. So the Polish Knights actually drawing out some of the final defenders in the town center. And just due to the fact, it looks like the heavy macemen over here now have to hold all of these units that are going to be pushing into the center. But I left my unit in melee, reason being is because even if this Polish unit dies, to get rid of the Savoyard crossbowmen with 3/4 ammo would be huge. Because look how many kills they've already got. 161 kills, and they've used 1/4 of their ammo. So they have the potential to get 500 or 600 kills if they're used properly in a siege, which is disgusting. Over here, I'm just trying to hold as long as I can. I pulled this unit out because it was, I noticed this other one was wavering. So again, just trying to hold here as long as possible. I've got my general going back and forth, popping rallies every which way. But these heavy macemen here are just being overwhelmed. They were in a bad position. They didn't get their shield wall. So now they're down to 100 men, losing almost half their unit already. And look at those stupid Savoyard crossbows just managing to hold their morale. And I guess the heavy Cossacks saved the day there. But now I've moved my Pavi spearmen in because we have to push on all flanks. We've got barely any time in this battle left. And the valets of the high period, they have no general. So I am hoping that it is a quick break. And here come the heavy Cossacks around the corner. Or are they going back? Not sure. Yeah, it looks like they are actually just going back around. But here we go, muscling through over here, and this unit of Savoyard crossbows has no choice but to go into melee against all of Hohen's units. And over here, look at this, my unit of Polish sergeants finally breaking the Eco-Chura footmen over here. So yeah, I'm done with this flank. I'm just gonna push this unit, since I'm done over here, push this unit into these 3 units and hold them. And I've got my general over here as well. It's perfect timing, so I see an opening and I'm gonna bring them down over here because I know that they're running low on units. Just looking at the man count, and also because we were all talking to each other and they're like, hey, we don't have many more units. Yeah, that is a nice unit of 73 Eco-Chura footmen that are breaking. And I'm just going to go right for these 2 units of crossbows. Just get them off the battlefield. Oh, nice charge there. But we've got the Master Horse Archer over here and the heavy Cossacks. I was a little worried that they were going to come over here and pen in my general, because he is at risk over here. But no, looks like Hamdog's got the same idea. That's actually a really good call, because he just needs to free up these 3 units. So bringing his Master Horse Archer over here, he's going to get just as a satisfying charge as I did. And finally breaking this flank here. And there is his general right at the front with the red cape. So that's all she wrote for that side. But over here, the heavy Cossacks taking major damage trying to hold my general in melee. And now he's moving into the spears, but they just don't have enough men left to be able to take us on. And here we go. We've got the Cuman bandits, the final defenders over here in the town center with the crossbow unit, going into melee against some of the Landwehr and the archer sergeants. And here we go. Hohen's general actually leading the charge against all 3 of these units over here. But he's followed closely behind by some of the Assaultner. And I've got some spears over here. What I'm doing with this spear unit is I'm going to form a wall here so that they can't flank around us anymore. And over on this side as well, I was going to bring them to the town center, but I'm going to form a wall facing the outer side of the city now, because I was wary about Hamdog's Master Horse Archer coming around and trying to flank around the general here. So I'm going to form a wall to protect them. And it looks like the unit of Savoyard crossbows are wavering. The Cuman bandits are wavering as well. And it looks like it is going to be a victory. Yeah, there we go. Just all the units starting to shatter. And Pyrrhic victory. So we actually captured the center with less than 3 minutes to spare. So very, very close in timing. And let's go ahead and take a look at the results here before we end the video. So for my army here, Spear's not really getting many kills, but they did their job. They held. My general 121, the other cav 202, 140, and 70, so pretty solid. My archer's also getting a decent amount of kills, and my sergeant's pretty solid as well. Looking at Hohen's forces here, his Landwehr being committed late in the battle, that is really solid kills for them. The high period is kind of a mixed bag. 118 and 102 is pretty solid. These ones got destroyed early on. These are the high period units that flanked on the left-hand side by the tower. So pretty high kills for the fact that they were obliterated by Pila. But good kills with the crossbows. And 221 kills with the catapult. Looking at Hamdog's force, 170 by the Master Horse Archer and 151 by the Heavy Cossacks. Good kills on the archers there. Heavy Macemen, this one's not bad, but this one could have got more kills if it wasn't, you know, desperately pushed in. But at that point, there really wasn't anything else to do. But look at these kills by the Axemen, too. 145 and 107. These two units are pretty cheap, so that is a cost-effective unit there. And by Charles the Bold, 129 kills. The pikes were focused down on purpose. That's why they don't have any kills. Oh my, 388, 283, 191, 177. Good kills by the Savoyard crossbows, but not enough kills as a whole to be able to hold us off. So that is the battle, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. And I will see you in the next one.